Welcome back to Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz, our October edition. And this is the middle segment, and you're in for a treat because we have a guest here, Janet Millen. And Janet, thank you for coming. I know you're going to be talking to us about the exciting things, the second Women's Conference for the Archdiocese. Let me just mention that you and your husband, Ralph, you're members of St. Patrick Church. You work with Catholic Charities, and the title is so long, I'm going to read it. But it's important that every word is in there. It's the Parish and Community Volunteer Engagement Coordinator for Catholic Charities. That's a mouthful, but it's, I was a director of Catholic Charities for 24 years, and so it does my heart good that you're connecting in your regular work the work of Catholic Charities and life in the parish. So thank you. That's for another meeting. However, for today, you're going to be talking to us about the second annual Women's Conference. Yes. Tell me a little bit, how did that come about and how did you get involved in it?
Several years ago, we hosted some listening sessions in several parishes in the Archdiocese and learned that women in parishes as well as the diaconate community were seeking a conference, a time for women of the Archdiocese to come together for spiritual growth. And I was invited to be a part of the conference planning team because of the location of the conference, which is St. Patrick, which is where I'm a parishioner.
And you know what, last year, it sold out. I teased the men. I said, my gosh, it took the men's conference 4 years to get over 600. You began at 700. So those of you considering it, sign up early because this is going to be very important. I know that we had what was that called? The rally for the reps?
The rep rally,
rally. And an exciting momentum that's building that has so many parish representatives involved. Tell us a little bit about if someone comes to the conference, first of all, what date is it? What they can expect, when does it begin? Just give us a little bit of the background.
I'll be happy to. It's scheduled this next month, November 5th, Saturday morning, starts at 8:30 a.m. And will run until about 1:30. This year we are doing things a little different. We're having 3 speakers and then 2 smaller language sessions that will be one offered in Spanish and one offered in English and Swahili.
Oh, very good.
And we will conclude with Mass celebrated with you. Wonderful. And then the Sacrament of Reconciliation will also be offered throughout the conference.
Wow, what a great great opportunity, and we're getting near the end of the Jubilee Year of Mercy, so it'd be a wonderful occasion. It's at St. Patrick, and I think you may mention that, but I thought you all hosted it so well. I know you're a parishioner there also. I'm glad that we're coming back.
Yes, we are too, and the hospitality of the St. Patrick staff was amazing, and the facilities really, worked for our purposes.
Yeah. I mentioned that it was sold out last year.
Yes.
So what's your advice? Here we are in October. If somebody said, well, I'm going to think about it a little bit, they're not supposed to think too long.
No.
Well, how do they sign up?
The preferred way is online.
Online.
Yes, at cwclouisville.net.
We're going to, by the way, as you're saying that, that screen will be available for our viewers.
Good. Yeah. Registration happens online, and the cost is $30 per person, and then we do have a children's program, and we ask $5 for that. And I would suggest register early.
Wonderful, yeah. When somebody comes to it, of course, people will be coming from all backgrounds, some very much engaged in the life of their church, maybe some coming with questions, maybe people who've been away from the church for a little bit. I always like to encourage, well, if there are families, maybe a mother and daughter, or better yet, a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter. It'd be nice if 3 generations of a family come. It's really open, though. You don't have to be involved in the church. You can come, huh? And what will people take away from it? I mean, what would you say to that?
I would have to say they will take away a sense of joy. We felt it last year, and I'm expecting it again this year. There is something powerful bringing women together. And that is the value of it being open and inclusive to anyone. And I think that's the beauty, too, of women who are maybe active to invite women they know that maybe aren't.
That's a great point. If somebody says, well, I'm coming, but I don't want to come alone, great.
Yes.
Invite your neighbor and bring others there. It's a great way also in Christ to meet
Yes.
other people and people from other parishes, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm amazed that we have 110 parishes, and we go all the way from the Ohio River all the way down to the Tennessee border. But I was amazed last year. I met some people who had come quite a distance from the southern Kentucky missions, from the southern part of Kentucky, all the way for that day's conference.
They did, and we heard from them as well as wanting to be parish reps again this year to spread the word even further within their regions and areas. And
we have 110
exciting.
parishes, and of course some of them are clustered. But how many reps would you say roughly?
We had about, I'd say, 75 committed out of the...
You know what? That's excellent.
Yes, yes.
I gave a video at that. I'm not going to give a video at this. November 5th, I'm going to be there, but I know I was on the road when
Correct.
you all had your gathering way back in August.
Right.
And I know I heard what a success it was.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, this is great. It's great because, of course, we're coming to the end of the year of Jubilee, and you mentioned the Sacrament of Reconciliation is present. It's also, we're going to be close to Thanksgiving. And I have to say, even though that's a secular national holiday, there's something deeply religious about giving thanks. And so our Holy Father has talked, Pope Francis has talked a lot about the role of women within the church and the leadership role in the church. And it seems to me that this second annual Women's Conference is so necessary for the life of our church and for our society.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm really very, very grateful for your willingness to give this. Let's just, for one last time, tell people again the facts, and we'll put it up on the screen. So the date and the location.
Okay, the date is Saturday morning, November 5th. We start at 8:30 a.m. and go until about 1:30, and it is at St. Patrick Parish in Eastwood off of Shelbyville Road.
Is there a fee for
$30 is the registration cost, and we have enough in the budget to, if there is any financial difficulties, we could help people with that.
So if
as well.
people are able to give that, of course, that helps defray the cost of it.
Yes.
But if people say, well, I'm not sure if I have all that money, they should still pursue it, and maybe there's an arrangement could be made for them. Well, that's great. That's the church at its best. Yeah. Well, Janet, thank you. Thank you so much, not only for your leadership on the Women's Conference, but also for your work in bringing together Catholic Charities and our parishes in the work of Jesus. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thank you all for viewing this segment of Conversations with Archbishop Kurt. Say a little prayer that we have a great day on November 5th for the Women's Conference, the second annual Women's Conference. Stay with us now for the last segment of this episode of Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz.